For me, the best melodies come out when you're just mumbling. You always want to have a melody that grabs people from the beginning. Da, 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 da. I think I'm onto something. Do I want the melody to go up or do I want it to go down? I could also sing it in a higher octave, something easy to sing along with. Most people love songs that they could sing along with. I've recorded the chord progression I came up with. I really like it, it's inspiring me, so I'm gonna try to get into some melodies. So I kind of want to just sing whatever comes to mind, literally sing anything and say anything, and it doesn't even have to be words. For me, the best melodies come out when you're just mumbling, and for me, like, a lot of my greatest songs were just mumbles in the beginning, so I'm kind of gonna do some mumbling and some noodling around over these chords that I came up with. And we're just gonna keep doing that until we find something that we love. Let me listen back to what I had. Okay. So something like this. Maybe like I think I'm onto something, so I'm gonna start recording just in case. One tip for coming up with melodies, one thing I like to do is repeat whatever phrase that I'm singing, because then you'll really hear the potential of it. So if I come up with a line like da 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 da, I'm gonna just keep kind of singing a variation of that and keep singing that melody to see if it could be a potential verse or a potential chorus. And you kind of have to pretend, you know, like you already have your song in your head when singing that melody to kind of try it out. So for example, you sing something like da again, I'm falling outside da I'm gonna keep singing it. You can also play with the rhythm a little bit. If you want to put a little variation on it, you know. You know. So that's kind of a solid melody. I like it. I wonder if I can come up with something better, but I think that was kind of initial instincts. but let's play with it some more. So I was kind of drawn to that melody specifically because it was a little catchier than the things I was coming up with before. It had a little bit more of like a memorable thing to it, something easy to sing along with, which is something to consider when you're writing a song. You know, everybody is not an amazing singer, and most people love, you know, songs that they could sing along with. So we're not going to add a bunch of fancy runs and, you know, tricks and all that stuff. We're going to try to come up with a melody that sticks in your head, that is easy to sing along with, and that just feels good. So, you know, use that feeling and that creativity that's inside of you to really determine, you know, what that is. But that's just one melody. We're going to keep going through some more, but I'm going to use my voice memos so that I don't forget anything. That could be a potential chorus. I love O's and like just kind of like a sound for a chorus as opposed to words. Sometimes that works when it comes to writing a chorus because you want something that people will just sing along that kind of represents a feeling. So if it's an oh, that kind of, it feels like something. It feels like you just want to sing. Maybe you're trying to get the words out, but you can't. And you just want to say an O, you know, or you just want to say you know, or extend, I don't know, any kind of phrase that sounds good to you, or thing that sounds good to you, like an O or an ooh or a yeah, you know. But yeah, I like that potentially. So I'm gonna listen back to what I did on that part. So I'm listening to my melody, and it almost sounds like I'm saying some words, even though I'm not really saying anything. I heard like, I don't want you, da da da. Could be, and this is a big word, but sounds like maybe it's inspiring a concept of like an ultimatum or something, you know, something cool, like, I don't want your ultimatum, on a day to Sunday, you know. I'm not sure what else rhymes with ultimatum, but we're gonna brainstorm that, and it's a good starting point maybe for a chorus, potentially, but you know, nothing is set in stone. We're just gonna keep exploring, keep experimenting, and keep trusting your instincts and your melodies and your ideas, and just keep challenging it, keep pushing it, and playing the chords that you've been inspired by. So I kind of just let the music take me. it inspired somewhat of a word like ultimatum, which is a very strange word, but for some reason it's resonating with me. And I can use the mumbles and some of the things I said to think about maybe what I'm subconsciously thinking, or something that I might be feeling that relates to some of the mumbles and some of the words, maybe the moods that I've already touched on. But there is no plan. We're just going with it. We're letting the music dictate what feels right. We're letting the music take us to whatever place that it's supposed to go. I like the mumbles that I came up with and what it's inspired, a possible concept. So I'm gonna get it down to solidify it a little bit. And yeah, let's just make sure we remember it. Something like, oh, oh, I did it, ultimatum, oh, oh, and I'll see the days, I did the ultimatum, ultimatum. Cool. So I've got a pretty solid voice memo of the possible concept, maybe a chorus. So I'm gonna get back into experimenting with some more melodies. I kind of like the chorus that we've got. I'm not 100% sold yet, but let's see where other parts of the song may take us. And yeah, let's explore some verse ideas. Gotta make sure I get my voice memos on so that I don't forget anything and I don't miss magic that might happen. Because magic does happen when you least expect it to. Here we go. So two things to think about too is some of your options. If you absolutely can't think of anything or you're not happy with the melodies that you're coming up with, be more intentional about it. And what I mean by that is maybe your verse, you want it to be a simple phrase with space in between, or do you want it to continue? So it could sound like, you know, la da da, la da da, la da da, oh da da da. Or maybe it's la da 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 da, oh da 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 da. You know, if you want it to be a full phrase, or if you want that space. I think the best verses kind of have space in between, and the pre-choruses then start to get a little bit more wordy. I think storyline-wise, just as far as my style as a songwriter, I tend to not give away too much in the verses and then really start explaining the story and getting more into the story and start to have a build. I think every song should have a build. Every song should kind of tell a story, if not a vibe of a story. And there should always be something that we're leading up to, some kind of anticipation. So melodically, to me, I think the verses should have a little bit more space, but it's not. It doesn't always have to be that way. I don't always do it that way. Another thing to think about is the dynamic of it. So sometimes in the verses, you want it to start off maybe lower, maybe in your lower register. That way there is an anticipation, unless you're singing it maybe sweeter in falsetto. But there's all of these different things that you can think about if you're absolutely stuck. Do I want the melody to go up, or do I want it to go down? So if it's da da da, I'm going down, or is it da da da, da da da, da da da, da da da, da da da. Da, 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 da. You know, or do I want it to go down? Da, 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 da. So those are two things you can think about. Like, do you want to walk it up, Or do you want to take it down? I could also sing it in a higher octave, whatever's more comfortable for your voice. Da, 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 da. If you want it to be more sweet, you know, I think falsetto always gives a bit more sweeter, vulnerable thing as opposed to singing low. Low sounds a little bit more uncertain to me. So think about some of these moods and themes when you're coming up with your melody, or don't think about it at all. It's whatever you feel. These are just the tools that you may want to use when thinking about a melody in a verse or in your song. I like the general idea of the melody kind of going down. Da, da, da. Maybe we remix it a little bit and it's not da 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 da. I think I want to make it a little bit more soulful. So maybe it's like maybe it's like da 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 da. I really like that, so I'm going to record it. Da 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 Now I'm just thinking of some variations. Da 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 da. Oh na da da da. Oh da 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 da. Yeah. So I think I really like this verse melody. It just kind of hit me. The magic kind of just happened. Feels like this is the beginning of our song. I'm really liking this verse for a couple reasons. I think it's a great way to start the song. You always want to have a melody that kind of grabs people from the beginning or grabs you from the beginning. If it feels like, ooh, this sounds like the beginning of a song. It sounds like I'm anticipating something. Da 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 da. And I kind of am doing like a throwaway on the end of the melody. Da 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 da. So it almost sounds like maybe like an afterthought or something that could go there. So I'm just starting to think about the possibility of the lyrics because of this melody. Like there's a lot that I could say with this melody in mind. The melody with these chords sounds sweet, but it could also have something else to it. It could have so many different layers. So as silly as it sounds, you know, sometimes you have to be really ridiculous to get to the lyrics or to get to the meat of it. You kind of almost have to imagine the song is already done. Like, oh, this is already a great song, you know? And you kind of just sing what may come natural, and that's how the mumbles happen. So I may just throw a few words in there, or words I think work with a certain melody. So, you know, certain rhymes, certain sounds, vowel sounds may work in a certain place. So maybe it's like da 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 something. Do something I just wanna, and I hope that then you wonder. You know, so you kind of just have to experiment with mumbles and experiment with some words to see where this verse lives and what the possibilities are. And I think gibberish helps. So a lot of times when working in the studio, I may sing something that is straight mumbles and somebody will go, "Did you say this word?" And I'm like, "No, but that could work," you know? And so you just never know what could happen if you just say whatever comes to your mind and whatever feels right to you. Don't worry about it sounding pretty when you're just coming up with it. Don't worry about it just being a la 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 or a do 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 do. You know, it could be anything that you want it to be, because you really want to just find some of those words that work.